Knight f3. Knight f6. We are now in the Zukertort opening Nimzollerson variation. On b3. On d5. Bishop b2. On c5. On e3. On g6. On c4. On takes c4. On takes c4. Bishop g7. Bishop e2. King castled kingside. King castled kingside. Knight c6. On d3. Rook b8. Knight c3. On a6. On a4. On b6. It is novelty move. Queen d2. Bishop f5. Rook fd1. Queen d7. Knight d5. Bishop e6. Knight takes f6 check. On takes f6. Bishop c3. On a5. Queen b2. Gukesh D is aiming to play. Bishop takes f6. Bishop takes f6. Queen takes f6 and take decisive advantage. Queen e7 played by Caruana. Knight d to stop here and find the strongest move for Caruana. Bishop c8 is the correct move because Rook e1. Rook e8. Knight e4. Knight e5. Knight d2. Knight d7 position is equal. Let's go to the main variation. Knight d2. Knight e5 slightly worse move played by Caruana. On d4. Threatening pawn takes e5. On takes d4 played by Caruana. On takes d4. Knight d7. Rook e1. On h5. On d5. Gukesh D is preparing to play. Bishop f1. Knight c5. On takes e6 and dominate the board. Bishop f5 played by Caruana. Bishop d3. Threatening rook takes e7. Queen d6 played by Caruana. Threatening bishop takes d3. Bishop takes f5 played by Gukesh D. On takes f5. Queen c2. Threatening queen takes f5. Queen f4 played by Caruana. Rook e3. Gukesh D is preparing to play. Rook ae1. Knight e5. On h3. Rook bc8. Bishop takes e5. On takes e5. Rook f3 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight e5 played by Caruana. Bishop takes e5. On takes e5. Rook f3. Threatening rook takes f4. Queen d4 played by Caruana. Threatening queen takes a1 check. Rook d1 played by Gukesh D. Threatening rook takes f5. On e4 played by Caruana. Rook takes f5. Stop here and find the strongest move for Caruana. Rook bc8 is a strong choice since rook takes h5. Rook fe8. Rook h4. On f5. Queen b1. Queen b2. Still Caruana is losing, shifting to the main variation. Threatening pawn takes f3. Rook takes f5 played by Gukesh D. Rook f(e8) slightly worse move played by Caruana. Knight f1. Threatening rook takes d4. Queen c5 played by Caruana. Knight e3. Queen d6. Rook takes h5. Queen g6. Threatening queen takes h5. Queen e2 played by Gukesh d. Rook bc8. On d6. Gukesh d wants to play. On d7. Rook e d8. On promotes to rook at dxc8 and increase their advantage significantly. Rook c d8 played by Caruana. On d7. Threatening pawn promotes to queen at dxe8 check. Rook e6 played by Caruana. Rook h d5. Bishop e5. On h4. On f5. On c5. Gukesh d is planning to play. On c6. Bishop c7. Rook takes f5 and increase their advantage significantly. On f4 played by Caruana. On h5. Threatening pawn takes g6. Queen f7 played by Caruana. Knight g4. Threatening knight takes e5. Bishop c7 played by Caruana. On takes b6. Bishop takes b6. Rook d6. Gukesh d is preparing to play. Knight h6 check. Rook takes h6. Rook takes h6 and dominate the board. King f8 played by Caruana. Queen b2 time to think, find the best continuation for Caruana. On e3 is the right idea because Queen h8 check. King e7. Rook takes e6 check. Queen takes e6. Queen g7 check. Queen f7 still Caruana is losing, shifting to the main line. Queen b2. Bishop c7 time to think, find the best continuation for Gukesh d. Queen h8 check is the right idea because Queen g8. Queen takes g8 check. King takes g8. Rook takes e6. On e3. King f1 Gukesh d have small advantage, shifting to the main line. Bishop c7 is an inaccurate played by Caruana. Threatening bishop takes d6. Rook takes e6 is not the best move played by Gukesh d. Queen takes e6. Queen h8 check. King e7. Queen g7 check. Queen f7. Queen g5 check. King f8. Knight e5. Pause the video and find the best move for Caruana. Queen e6 is logical continuation as Knight g6 check. King f7. Knight takes f4. Bishop takes f4. Queen takes f4 check. Queen f6 still Caruana is losing, shifting to the main game. Knight e5. Queen b3. Pause the video and find the best move for Gukesh d. Queen takes f4 check is a strong choice since King g8. Queen g5 check. King h8. Rook c1. Bishop b6. King h to Gukesh d have small advantage. Let's go to the main game. Threatening knight takes f7. Queen b3 is not the best move played by Caruana. Rook d6 creates serious weaknesses in the position. Played by Gukesh d. Gukesh d is preparing to play. Queen h6 check. King e7. Queen f6 mate, and gain a significant edge. On e3 played by Caruana. Rook f6 check. Gukesh d claimed a well-earned victory.